Hello everyone. So we are going to study a very practical topic today. And after studying this topic, you really feel how much important this topic in your life and how it really will help you to take some major decisions from time to time. Okay. So let me take you to the classroom and introduce the theme of the topic. Okay. So to start with, yes. So the topic is, yeah, it is geometric progression. Okay, so you already have started studying, sequences and series. So arithmetic progression you are familiar with, right? So now geometric progression, why this geometric progression? Why should we study? So if you look at this cover slide. So first I have taken some triangles. You can observe the pattern in the triangle. Okay, number of triangles or something you might be observing here. Okay, and in the other side I have shown some spiral type of thing. Okay, so now this is basically how this is continuously and consistently it is increasing, right? And also same will be true if it decreases, a constant, constant, you can say, pattern. Okay, then why GP, right? We have studied already AP, so why GP now? So now sometimes, no, some situation arises, like for example, computing a lifetime salary. Yeah, computing one salary for certain period of time. Yeah, whenever you have some financial investment, before deciding, if you have n number of choices, if a five choices, three choices like this, so before deciding which investment will give you more return, it means determining the value of annuity. Similarly, whenever you are given some repeating decimal, how to express this as a fraction. Okay, there are many more applications like this. And of course, you can say the growth in population, when the growth in population in a geometric manner, right? So in many situations like this, no, you encounter certain circumstances where you really have to take a major decision, right? So let's try GP. So maybe it may help us. Okay. So I will pose a situation before you. Yeah. So the situation is like this. Suppose you are at the closing moments of a job interview. Everything is finalized. Shaking hands with the manager. It means congratulating. The manager is congratulating you, right? Looking forward you to have in his team. Okay, you are in cloud nine, and because you managed to answer all the tough questions without, without losing your voice, and now you have been offered the job, right? And in fact, a day before, you have been offered another job in the same field with a rival company, right? So it means for you, the nature of job in both the cases is same. So then you really have to decide which one is better for you, right? And of course, before deciding, because both the companies are new for you, so you have to see the financial aspect first, apart from timing everything. So one company offers you 12 lakh rupees per annum the first year and 6% per year increment of 6% per year for next 4 years. Okay, and the next 4 years means after first year, second year onwards, you are going to get 6% increase for next 4 years. The other company offers you 13 lakh rupees per annum the first year and increases 3% per year after that. Over the 5 year period, which is better for you? Which one is a better offer? Okay, so that is a crucial moment for you to decide which one is better for you, right? So now you see, whenever you compare the salary, so how much it is increasing, and no, after 5 years, you have to really look where we will be after 5 years, and specifically at this point of time, no, you will see the financial benefits, right? So if salary raises amount to certain percent each year, the yearly salaries over time form a geometric sequence. Okay, that is the, you can say, it is geometric sequence. Whenever we say, okay, the growth is exponential, right? So it means the, whenever you see this corona situation, or whenever you see the COVID-19 situation, so again, how much exponential it is growing, right? So even if now we do not accurately calculate whether the growth is exponential or not, but we know it is continuously growing, continuously, I mean, increasing. The situation is like that. So the basically raw, I mean sense, in layman sense, we say over time it will form geometric sequence. First instance is that. Now the mathematics person. So what should we think? Now let's discuss geometric sequence and their properties. After studying this section, I mean the topic we are going to study today, you will be in a better position. You will be in a position to decide which job offer is better for you, which job offer you should accept. Okay, and also you will know which company will pay you more over 5 years, right? So for this reason, maybe in the beginning we can just start the topic with this concept in the mind. Now, what is the geometric sequence? Yeah, what is the geometric progression? We call it GP. The geometric progression is a sequence in which each term after the first, means after the first term, that is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a fifth non-zero constant. For example, if I say 2 is the first term, then after first term, each term will be obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a fifth non-zero constant. For example, I want to multiply 3, the non-zero constant. So 2 is the first term. After this, next term will be, I mean second term will be obtained by multiplying 3 to the preceding term. Means first term 2, next term will be 2 into 3, 6. Next term will be 6 into 3, 18. Next term will be 18 into 3, 54. Like this. Okay. The amount by which we multiply is time. Here in our example, we are multiplying 3. Each time we are multiplying 3. So that is called common ratio of the GP. We will discuss this in more detail. The general form of a GP is like AR square, AR cube, like this. Okay, so A is called first term. The quantity we are multiplying, the non-zero constant we are multiplying, here it is R, that is called common ratio. Okay, now geometric progression is of two types. We will be studying two types of GP here. Okay, one is finite GP, the other one is infinite GP. Okay, so let's study in more details, which is very, very practical and you really can apply to your daily life. Okay, so now you see, while studying this geometric progression, so we will be studying how to find the common ratio and no. Yes, so first to start with geometric progression, as I just told you, the general form of geometric progression is like AR, AR square, AR cube, like this. Okay, so let's take it is a finite GP first. We will consider finite GP first. Okay, now AR square, AR cube, like this. Now what is A here? A is called first term of the GP. R is called common ratio of the GP. Okay, this is common ratio. Okay, common ratio. So another way to find common ratio is AR by A. I mean second term by first term or third by second. The common ratio can also be obtained by taking like this: second term by first term, or you can say third term by second term like this, or in general it is nth term. An is to an minus 1. Okay, nth term is to n minus 1th term. That is equal to r. Right? Okay, now how to get general term? So we assume we are getting here n number of terms. So general term, to get general term of the GP. So you see here, see the pattern. First term we are writing A here. Second term we write here A into R. Third term we write, what is third term? A into R square. Just observe the pattern and tell me. Fourth term is A into R cube. So first term A into R to the power 0. Second term A into R to the power 1. Third term A into R power 2. Fourth term A into R to the power 3. If you go like this, nth term, the nth term of the GT will be what? A, then R to the power n minus 1, because fourth term power of R is 3. Third term power of R is 2. So nth term power of R would be n minus 1. So this is the general term. So general term of the GT, general term of the GT of a GP, that is we write AN or you may write TN. Okay, AN or TN, that is equal to A into R to the power n minus 1, where A is the first term, R is the common ratio. Okay, this is general term. So yeah, so we can apply like if you are having AN or TN equal to A into R to the power n minus 1. Okay, now let's find sum to n terms. So let's find. So here Sn denotes sum to first sum to n terms of a GP, just like AP, the same symbol here, Sn, right? But the formula is different. So sum to n terms of GP. It means again sum of first n terms of a GP. So let's derive the formula. So whenever you write your Sn, that is equal to A plus AR plus AR square plus AR cube. Okay, plus AR to the power n minus 1. Okay, so here you see, if I multiply R to both sides, R into Sn, that is equal to, yeah, you have to multiply with this thing. So we can write it with first term, when you multiply it is AR. Second term you multiply R, it is AR square. Third term you multiply R, it becomes AR cube. Like this. Now with last term AR to the power n minus 1, you multiply R, you get A into R to the power n. So one column is shifting towards right. Right? Now you see, we subtract. Yeah, so now let's subtract. This is 1, this is 2. Subtract 2 from 1. That means you are getting like this. Okay, so Sn minus R into Sn. So Sn common, so 1 minus R. That is equal to A. So these things will be cancelled out, right? All these things, AR minus AR square minus AR square, it will be cancelled like this. So you are getting here. Now this will be also cancelled with the term here. So it means before this AR to the power n, there is no term containing a r to the power n here. That means when you subtract here a minus a r to the power n, right? So your Sn equal to what? A into 1 minus r to the power n divided by 1 minus r. Okay, so you are getting like this. So here you see Sn equal to this. Now, so what should be your conclusion here? The denominator containing 1 minus r. So obviously you cannot take r equal to 1. Okay, it will not be valid. So it is r not equal to 1. Okay, that is obvious. So here Sn equal to this. Now we may take like this also, or you may write here, Sn equal to, if I write a into r to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1, and of course r not equal to 1. So we may write like this, this or like this. So what we decide here, so what we decide here, Sn equal to a into r to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1 when r is greater than 1, and a into 1 minus r to the power n by 1 minus r when r less than 1. Okay, so by default we will be taking for Sn the formula like this. Okay, and r not equal to 1. Okay, so in case you have r equal to 1, what will happen? If r equal to 1, then the GP will be looking like this. So let me just show you. So if you have, because when we define this now, we define like we multiply non-zero constant. So 1 is a non-zero constant. So by the definition, you can have r equal to 1. But if r equal to 1, the GP will be like this, a, like this. Okay, and Sn of this will be what? Sn of the GP will be what? A plus a, like this, up to n terms, right? So it means your Sn equal to n into a. It will be looking like this. So basically we cannot apply this formula. Okay, so whenever we write Sn equal to a into r to the power n minus 1 by r minus 1 when r greater than 1, and a into 1 minus r to the power n by 1 minus r when r less than 1. So here we do not consider r equal to 1, because if r equal to 1, this formula will not be valid. Okay. So now what we have studied till now, we have studied general term, I mean a n equal to a into r to the power n minus 1, and also we have studied Sn, that is equal to a into r to the power n minus 1 by r minus 1 when r greater than 1, a into 1 minus r to the power n by 1 minus r when r is less than 1. Okay, we have studied this. Now what is the proof? Yeah, how to know this is increasing with decreasing, because whenever you are studying AR square, AR cube like this, no, every time now some quantity is being multiplied. Okay, and also like your arithmetic progression, the last term can be denoted by L also. Okay, it means n can be written as L also, just like AP. Okay, so yeah, so one more before we move into the question, one more concept I just want to tell you. Okay, let's consider, so it is basically whenever you write an, an equal to a into r to the power n minus 1, this is basically what? It is nth term from the beginning, nth term from the beginning. But if the question is, or if somebody asks you, what will be the nth term from the end? Okay, let me tell you this thing also. So nth term from end, from the end of finite GP, finite GP. So nth term from the end of a finite GP. So it means you see, suppose for example you have m number of terms. So let the GP contains m number of terms, like for example r square, ar cube, ar to the power 4, like this. Okay. Yeah. So this. So maybe you can write here ar to the power m minus 1. It means we have m number of terms in the GP. So nth term from the end. Mth term from the end means, sorry, we have taken nth term, no? Yeah. We have m number of terms. We are familiar with n number of terms, no? That's why. Nth term from the end means what? Nth term from the end means it is basically m minus n plus 1th term from the beginning, term from the beginning, from the beginning. Is it clear to you? Suppose for example, if I write here, yes, let me take 10 terms for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm taking a very, very simple example. So if we have 10 terms, if I write here 5 terms, yeah, sorry, maybe I may take 4 term from the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4th term from the end. Now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms. 7 means 10 minus 4 plus 1. You can take such examples to just verify. Okay, so it's not like 4th from the end means 10 minus 4, 6 from beginning. Now, because this term is included. Okay, so as I have told you, so here we have 10 terms. If I say 4th term from the end, it means this term is the 4th term from the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the beginning. 7 from beginning means 10 minus 4 plus 1. So you can take similar examples to convince you, right? So here you see nth term from the end means m minus n plus 1th term from the beginning. So it means which term then? It will be that is equal to what? So whenever you write nth term from the beginning, when you write nth term from the beginning, you write a into r to the power n minus 1. So m minus n plus 1th term from the beginning means it will be a into r to the power m minus n. Okay. So a into r to the power m minus n. So similarly, yeah, or we can, the other way also we can take, this is finite GP. So we reverse the terms of the GP, like you can say a r to the power m minus 1, then a r to the power m minus yes, 2, like this, no? We reverse the order. If we are going like this, common ratio is r. If we come like this, common ratio will be 1 by r. Then we can take directly, right? Yes, so we can say directly, like, I mean, nth term from the beginning. We can use nth term from the beginning. That formula we can use. Is it clear? The first way, either you do like this, nth term from the end means m minus n plus 1th term from the beginning. Then we are getting a r to the power m minus n. This is one case. Second case will be you can reverse the order. It means your last term will be the first term, second last term will be second term, and first term will be the last term. So it means it will a r to the power m minus 1, a r to the power m minus 2 like this. Okay, so it means here first term will be a into r to the power m minus 1. Okay, and this will be first term, and your common ratio will be 1 by r. So this is your L, right? Common ratio 1 by r. Then you can take the term as what? L into, in place of A you are taking L, so no new things now. And in place of R you are writing 1 by R. So now it is L into what? 1 by R to the power n minus 1. You may take like this also. So it is up to you, right? So your nth term from the end, either it will be what? A r to the power m minus n, or you may write here L into 1 by r power n minus 1. So any term, anything is fine. I mean any method is fine. Okay. So let us go to take some questions, simple questions maybe, because today is the introductory class. The first question you see, find the 10th term and nth term of the GP 525, 125 and so on. So solution 1, 10th term from the, yeah, sorry, from the beginning. Obviously it's not given end or beginning, so we have to take beginning only. 10th term and nth term. Okay, so GP is what? 5, 25, 125 like this. Okay, A equal to 5. Now how to get R here? Second by first or third by second like this. So you are getting what? 25 by 5 or 125 by 25, R equal to 5. So 10th term, A 10. So nth term is A into R to the power n minus 1. 10th term is A into R to the power 9. So here it is 5 into 5 to the power 9, means you are getting 5 to the power 10. Okay, nth term will be what? N will be A into R to the power n minus 1. A is 5, R is 5 to the power n minus 1. So you are getting 5 to the power n. Simple. Okay, question number 2. Solution of question number 2. Okay, in GP, the third term is 24, sixth term 192. Find 10th term. The third term, so basically whichever term I may have to find out, we need what? A and R. Okay, so let A be the first term, R be the common ratio. You start with C. Now third term is 24. So according to the question, you have third term is A r square equal to 24. Okay. Fifth term is 192. A r to the power 5. Sixth term, that is 192. Okay. Can we get, I mean, r here? So now dividing, let us number it as equation 1 and 2. Dividing 2 equation 2 by equation 1. So you have r cube equal to what? 192 by 24. Is it 8? Yeah, 24 8 yeah, 192. Yes, r cube 8. So r equal to 2. So once you get r equal to 2 from equation 1, a r square is 24, right? A equal to 24 by 4, that is 6. Okay, so you have A and R, you need 10th term. Okay, 10th term, so it means the 10th term, A 10 equal to A into R to the power 9. A equal to 6, R is 2 power 9. So 6 into 2 to the power 9 is 512. Yeah, 2 to the power 10, 1024. Yes, you can multiply. Okay, let's take the calculation. 3072. Okay, so in this page, one more question is there. Find the sum to n terms of a GP. Root 7, root 21, 3, root 7, and so on. Find sum to n terms. Okay. Now here you see, yes. So now for sum to n terms, you need again A and R, right? So third question, solution of question number 3. So you are given the GP root 7, then you are given 21 root, then you are given 7, 3 into root 7 like this. This is the GP. Okay, A equal to root 7. Okay, R equal to what? Root 21 by root 7. That is equal to root 3, I believe. Yeah. Then yes. So this is root 3. So now you see, yeah, root 3 is greater than 1. We have to find sum, right? So Sn equal to what? For R greater than 1, we have A into R to the power n minus 1 divided by R minus 1. Okay. So this implies Sn equal to A means root 7, right? Into R to the power n. So it is 3 root 3 power n. Root 3 power n means you can write what? Let me write it as it is root 3 power n minus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1. Okay. So we can write it a bit. If we rationalize the denominator, so we can have root 7 root 3 plus 1. Now here root 3 power n minus 1. Denominator will be root 3 plus 1 into root 3 minus 1. So it is getting 2. So leave the answer here. Okay. Okay, now yeah, last page. Okay, now before we go to this, find an infinite GP. So let me tell you what is infinite GP. So whenever we have finite GP, write here AR square, AR cube like this. Here we assume we have n number of terms where n is a finite number. Okay, so whenever we have to have infinite GP, so infinite GP means it will be like this. The general form will be, yeah, you can say the GP in the form of the GP in the form of AR square like this. Okay, there is no, n term here is called an infinite GP. Okay, yes, in the form of this is called an infinite GP. Okay, there is no n term, infinite GP. It is up to infinity, right? Now here you see, we will, in our syllabus, we will be deriving here. So we will derive term to infinity when, yeah, derive the formula for infinite GP when R is basically absolute value of R is less than 1. So it means that is R should be between -1 and 1. Okay. So it means so one thing I want to tell you. So as I said, R is less than 1. Okay. It is between -1 and 1 in fact. Okay. So it means, suppose for example, I take one example. If I write here r equal to 1 by 2, for example. Okay. So when r equal to 1 by 2, r square is 1 by 4. R cube is 1 by 8. Like this, r to the power 4 is 1 by 16. So what is the observation here? So for r less than 1, so now as the power of r is increasing, means r, then r square, r cube, r to the power 4, like this. When the exponent is increasing, the value is decreasing, right? R 1 by 2, r square 1 by 4, r cube 1 by 8, r to the power 4 1 by 16, and so on. So it means when we take r to the power n, it means when n approaches to infinity, when n is arbitrarily large, r to the power n will be very, very small. It will approach to 0, right? So you can take some other example, 1 by 3, 1 by 10, any other example which is basically mod r less than 1. You can take any other example also. So what will happen here? The original formula we have Sn equal to what? A into 1 minus r to the power n by 1 minus r. This is the case when r is less than 1. Now, if I write here S infinity, okay, it means n is very, very large. So A, now 1 minus r to the power n is very, very small here. So 1 minus 0 divided by 1 minus r. So S infinity equal to A by 1 minus r. Okay, this is the formula for form to infinity of the GP. Is it clear? So when r is less than 1, I mean mod r less than 1. Okay, so as power of r increases, the value of r to the power n decreases. So if n is very, very large, n is arbitrarily large, r to the power n is very, very small. So very small positive, very small, but it is non-negative. So you are getting this as 0. So that's why r S infinity equal to A by 1 minus r. Okay, find an infinite GP whose second term is 2 by 9, sum to infinity is unity. So it means you have how many unknowns? One is S in infinity, then A and R. So out of the three, if you are given two, the third one can be easily found out. So this is your question number 4 and question number 5, right? The solution 4 is what? Yes, you are given S infinity equal to 1 unity, and second term is 2 by 9. Okay. Okay, then yeah, first term is not given here, right? So second term is A2, you can say second term is 2 by 9. So let A be the first term. Okay, so A is first term. Now how to find R and A? Okay, so here you see, to find, yeah. So now you see second term is given and S infinity given. So we can write here. So yeah, R is, yeah, we can write here. This is common ratio. Okay, so it means second term means your AR. So you are given AR equal to 2 by 9. Okay, so when you are given AR equal to 2 by 9, this means your R will be what? 2 by 9A. Clear? Now coming to S infinity. S infinity equal to A by 1 minus R. So this will help us to find A and R. Now S infinity is 1. So it is A divided by 1 minus 1 minus R means 2 by 9a. Okay, it means, so you can write here, you can simplify this, 1 equal to a. Now here 9a minus 2 divided by 9a, or you can write 1 equal to 9a square by 9a minus 2. Okay, so it means you can simplify this, your 9a square equal to 9a minus 2, right? Okay, we can simplify this, 9a square minus 9a. This implies 9a square minus 9a plus 2 equal to 0. So can you factorize it? Yes, 3a. Yeah, it can be factorized like this. 3a minus 2 into 3a minus 1. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, 9a square, you are getting, yes, so got it, minus 3 is this. So you can just know, basically your sum should be minus 9, product plus 18. So factorization, I think you can do it, no problem. So you are getting a equal to 2 by 3 and a equal to 1 by 3. Okay, now a 2 by 3, so then r will be what? When a 2 by 3, we have taken r equal to this. When a 2 by 3, r will be equal to 1 by 3, right? And when this is 1 by 3, a 1 by 3, r equal to 2 by 3. So your GP will be what? You have to find GP. So the required GP is, you may have 2 by 3, 2 by 9, then 2 by 27. Okay, like this, infinity. Or if it is 1 by 3, okay, then it is 2 by 9. You see, both the cases you are getting the same thing. Yeah, 4 by the second term 2 by 9, 4 by 27, and so on. You have two possibilities here. Okay, okay. So last question is, find a rational number when expressed as a decimal will have 0.34545 recurring as its expression. So you have done such questions in class 9, I believe. But that time you did not know this. I mean, you can apply GP here, right? So I'll tell you, it's very interesting. So, okay, last question of today's class, solution 5. So here you have the rational number is what? 0.345. Okay, this is repeated. That means this is basically 0.345454545 like this. 5 will be repeated up to infinity, right? Like this. If I write here, this is equal to 0.3 plus, I can write here 0.45, 0.045. It's some third place, no? 4545 like this. You may write here. Here it is 0.045. Let me write 0.045, right? Plus you can write here 0.00045. Okay, like this. Now here you see 0.3 is independent, let it be. Now plus, from here you can start 45 by 1000, right? Plus your 45 by, so you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 lakh, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like this. So you are getting infinite GP here, right? It is up to infinity. That means you are having 3 by 10, no problem here. Now this is infinite GP. A equal to 45 for this. A equal to 45 by 1000. R equal to what? Your R equal to 1. Yeah, so here 3 zeros, 5 zeros. Okay. Or you may take 45 common, then it will be much more easier in fact. If you write here 45 common, 1 by 1000 plus 1 by 1 lakh, like this. Okay, up to infinity. Last step, this is so easy. Now here you can have 3 by 10 plus 45 into. So you can write here. Okay, so you may write here like A by this. If you take here 1 by 1000, A by 1 minus R. Okay, so this is 3 by 10 plus 45 into 1 by 1000 into, this is your 100 by 99. Yes, so you can simplify this. 3 by 10 plus, okay, you can save this. Okay, 45, yeah, 45 divided by 990, right? 990. So you can have 45990. You can have, can it be, yeah, you can cancel it. 3 by 10 plus, if you cancel it, 45 and yeah. Two, 1 by 22, done. Okay, so you have, now you can simplify this. 3 by 10 and this, you have 220. So here, yes, 220, then 66. I to take 220. You can simplify like this also. Okay, you can simplify in your own way. So 1110, right? You can write here, this is 1110, 110. Then this is your, you can get here basically, yeah, so 5, 11 into 33 plus 5. 38 by 1110, it means 19 by 55. That's it. Okay, so now you see this repeated decimal can be expressed as the fraction. Okay, so now let's wind up the class today. And for introductory class, it is, I mean, you can say we have studied enough today. So thank you so much for your patience. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Okay, so now, yeah, so now is the last class. Thank you so much. And if, in case you like the video, you can like it and share with your friends. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe the channel so that you can get some more concepts from time to time. So thank you once again.